5.3, real world problems. Yes, this is related to your textbook, systems of linear equations. You have learned to write a single equation with two variables, 3x plus 4y equals 20. You can use this skill to write two equations with two variables that go along with real life situations. For example, at a carnival, 700 tickets were sold for a total amount of $5,500. Well, those numbers are significant. They're going to help me set up my two equations with two variables. An adult ticket costs $10 and a children's ticket costs $5. So I know I have two different things here, adult tickets and children's tickets. Find the number of adult tickets and the number of children's tickets sold. So I'm going to write a let statement first. Let A equal the adult tickets. Let C equals the child's ticket, or the children's ticket. So write an equation relating the sales of the tickets. Sales involves the money. So I'm going to have to use this $5,500 and the value of the tickets in this first equation that I'm going to write with two variables. So it's $10 for an adult ticket, put that value on, and $5 for a children's ticket, and altogether the sales were $5,500. So $10 times my adults plus $5 times my children's would give me a total of $5,500. The equation relating the number of tickets, not a value, so I'm not going to put that $5 and $10 on, but I know that I sold a certain amount of adult tickets and a certain amount of children's tickets, and altogether there were 700 of them sold. So now I have two equations with two variables. Let's solve them. You can solve your equations either using the substitution method or the elimination method. And because these numbers are kind of large in this first equation, I'm going to use the elimination method. And I'm going to multiply by -5 instead of -10, because I could clear and get rid of the A's, but I'm going to get rid of the C's. So multiplying my second equation by -5, I get -5A, -5C, and -3,500. Combining these two equations, I eliminate the C's. 10 A's take away 5 A's is 5 A's. 5,500 take away 3,500 is 2,000. Dividing by 5, I get that there were 400 adult tickets sold. So solving my second equation, A plus C equals 700, I know that I must have sold 300 children's tickets. I sold 400 adult ones and 300 children's tickets. Well, I better check. 10 times A being 400, and dollars times those 400 adult tickets, plus $5 times those 300 children's tickets. Does that equal $5,500? Well, 10 times 400, 4,000. Plus 5 times 300, 1,500. Oh, yes, that does equal 5,500. So it does check. And 400 plus 300 is 700. So my two equations do check. So how many? Yes, because this is a real life problem, we're going to sable this sentence answer box label. There were, find the number of adult and children's tickets was the what we had to do in this problem. So there were 400 adult tickets. Sold and 300 children's tickets. Sold. So yes, real life situation, we want to give a full sentence answer in there. Another one. The difference, subtract, between the length L, this is an L, and the width, W, of one face of a box is 4 inches. The face has a perimeter of 52 inches. Find the length and the width. Okay, well, I'm going to say let L equal length because they told me that, right? I don't even have to write my let statements. They already told me L is the length and W is the width. Your let statements are right here. They're already in the problem, so we don't need to do that. So the difference between the length and the width is 4 inches. The difference between the length and the width is 4 inches. That's that equation. The face has a perimeter of 52 inches. Well, I know the perimeter of a rectangle. Perimeter equals 2 lengths and 2 widths. So 52 has to equal 2 lengths and 2 widths added together, correct? Yeah. So that's my 2 equations. I can either use elimination or substitution here to solve these 2 equations simultaneously. I'm going to use the substitution method here because if I solve this length subtracting the width equals 4 for just the length, adding W to both sides here, I would get the length equals the width plus 4. So I'm going to put that L right here, that length, that expression that represents the length, W plus 4. So 52 equals 2 times W plus 4 plus 2 more W's. So distributing, I get 2 W's plus 8 plus my 2 more W's has to equal 52. Well, I've got 4 W's altogether, and I'm going to subtract 8. And I get 44 equals those 4 W's. Dividing by 4, 11 is my width. 11 is my width. My length minus my width has to equal, so my length minus my width of 11 has to equal 4. So adding 11 to both sides, I know the length has to be 15. Well, is 15 plus 15 plus 11 plus 11 equal to 52? 15 and 15 is 30. 11 and 11 is 22. Yes, it does equal 52. So I did a mental check here. And yes, 15 take away 11 is 4. So I know it works in both of my equations. I didn't show that double check, but you heard me say it. So it says find the length and the width. That's what we were charged in doing in this problem. So I'm going to sable this. The length is 15 inches. I have a label on here. And the width is 11. So I found both the length and the width. 2 bowls and 1 cup have a mass of 800 grams. 2 bowls and 1 cup have a mass of 800 grams. That's one of my equations. 1 bowl and 2 cups have a mass of 700 grams. That's another equation, different amounts. Find the mass of a bowl and the mass of a cup. Well, I'm going to say let B equal the bowl. I could say X. You could say X and Y if you want. Let C equal the cup. So my first equation, 2 bowls plus 1 cup, has a mass of 800. My second equation, 1 bowl plus 2 cups, has a mass of 700. Let's solve these simultaneously. I'm going to solve for B here. B equals negative 2C plus 700. And I'm going to substitute that in. So 2 times negative 2C plus 700 equals 800. I'm going to substitute back this B into this equation. Negative 4C's and 1400 equals 800. Oh, I got to put the other C on here. Almost forgot that. Plus the other C from here. So I have negative 3C's and subtracting 1400 from both sides. I get negative 3C's equals negative 600. Dividing by negative 3, I get C has to equal 200. C has to equal 200. And a B plus 2C's has to equal 700. So that's 400. B has to equal 300. So 2 B's plus a C has to equal 800. I'm going to make sure it works in that equation. 2 times 300, 600 plus a C, which is 200. 600 plus 200 does equal 800. So the bowl is 300 grams and the cup is 200 grams. That would be the sable for this equation. The bowl is 300 grams and the cup is 200 grams. And that's it for today. We'll practice more of these tomorrow.